Brock Lesnar attacks CM Punk after WWE SNME title match against Jey Uso. I am absolutely furious right now. Not at what happened on Saturday night's main event, no. I'm furious at the idiots in the comment sections claiming that Brock Lesnar attacking CM Punk is bad booking or ruins Punk's momentum. Are you serious? Did we watch the same show? Did you not see the nuclear heat this just created? Did you not feel the electricity when the Beast Incarnate's music hit after one of the most emotional title defenses of the year? This is exactly what WWE should be doing. This is peak wrestling storytelling. And if you can't see that, if you're sitting there complaining that Brock's a part-timer or Punk doesn't need this, then you fundamentally don't understand how to build to WrestleMania. Saturday night's main event just gave us the match of the year candidate with CM Punk defending against Jey Uso, and then Brock Lesnar came out of nowhere and delivered an F5 that might have just set up the biggest match of WrestleMania 41. And I'm about to explain exactly why everyone who's complaining needs to sit down and pay attention. Let's start from the beginning of Saturday night's main event, because the context of how we got to Brock's attack is crucial to understanding why this moment is absolutely brilliant. Saturday night's main event returned to NBC network television. This wasn't just another premium live event on Peacock. This was WWE showcasing their best to a mainstream audience. Casual fans tuning in, nostalgic viewers remembering the glory days of SNME. This was WWE's chance to make statements. And the main event? CM Punk defending his World Heavyweight Championship against Jey Uso. On paper, this might seem like an odd choice to some. Jey's been on a redemption arc, but he's not necessarily seen as a main event championship threat by everyone. But WWE knew exactly what they were doing. Quick question for the comments: what did you think when this match was first announced? Intrigued or disappointed? The build to this match was perfect. Jey Uso has been on this journey of self-discovery since leaving the bloodline. He's been trying to prove he's not just Roman's cousin or Jimmy's brother. He's been fighting to establish himself as a singles competitor worthy of respect. Jey earned this title shot through a #1 contender tournament. He beat legitimate competition. He proved he belonged in this spot. But there was still that doubt: could Jey actually beat CM Punk? Could he rise to this occasion? CM Punk, meanwhile, has been having the best run of his return to WWE. After all the drama with AEW, after the injuries, after the doubts about whether he could still go at this level, Punk has been phenomenal. His title reign has been about respect, about proving he's still the best in the world, about solidifying his legacy. Punk didn't underestimate Jey. In promos leading up to the match, Punk made it clear he knew Jey was dangerous. He acknowledged Jey's heart, his resilience, his ability to win when nobody believes in him. That respect made the match feel important. The match itself? Absolute magic. These two went out there and had a classic. Jey Uso showed he belongs at this level. The near falls had the crowd on the edge of their seats. When Jey hit that Uso splash and got a 2 count, the place erupted, thinking we might see a title change. Drop a comment: what was your favorite spot from the Punk vs Jey Uso match? Punk worked his ass off. He sold for Jey like Jey was a legitimate threat. He made every one of Jey's offensive moves look devastating. This wasn't a squash, this was a competitive championship match. The psychology was beautiful. Jey targeting Punk's previously injured body parts. Punk having to dig deep to overcome. The crowd split between respect for Punk and love for Jey's underdog story. This is what wrestling is supposed to be. The finishing sequence was incredible. Jey went for a second Uso splash. Punk moved. GTS setup. Jey countered. Super kick. Another super kick. Jey climbing again. But Punk recovered. Caught Jey on the top rope. Superplex. Both men down. The referee counting. Both men struggling to their feet. Trading strikes. The crowd is molten. Jey loads up for another super kick. Punk catches the foot. Spins Jey around. Go to sleep. Cover. 1, 2, 3. CM Punk retains. The crowd goes crazy. Punk's music hits. He's exhausted. He's been through a war. Jey Uso gave him everything. But Punk remains champion. The referee hands Punk the title. Punk raises it high. The pyro goes off. This is a triumphant moment. Punk just proved once again why he's the best in the world. Saturday night's main event on network TV just delivered a classic. Jey Uso slowly gets to his feet. There's this moment where you think, is Jey going to attack? Is he going to be bitter about the loss? But no. Jey extends his hand. The crowd pops. Jey's showing respect. Punk looks at Jey's hand. The history. The war they just went through. And Punk shakes it. The two warriors showing mutual respect. Jey raises Punk's hand. The crowd is eating this up. This is sportsmanship. This is what makes wrestling beautiful. Jey exits the ring. Punk is left alone to celebrate. He's climbing the turnbuckles, pointing to the crowd. This is his moment. He just defended his title on network television against a worthy opponent. Life is good. And then, question for discussion: in that moment of celebration, did you have any idea what was about to happen? The lights go out. Not completely, but they dim. The arena gets that eerie feeling. Something's wrong. The crowd senses it. Punk senses it. He stops celebrating and looks around. And then we hear it. Here comes the pain. Brock Lesnar's music. The place explodes. Half shock, half excitement. Nobody saw this coming. Saturday night's main event just became unmissable television. Brock Lesnar, who hasn't been seen in WWE in months, comes walking out. Paul Heyman is not with him. This is just Brock. Solo. Looking like an absolute monster. He's got that look in his eyes, the Predator look. Punk's face tells the story. Exhaustion mixed with realization. He just went through a war. He's got nothing left in the tank. And now the Beast Incarnate is coming for him. Brock doesn't rush. He doesn't run to the ring. He walks with purpose. He's stalking his prey. Every step is calculated. The anticipation is killing the audience. Punk tries to prepare himself. He's got the championship in his hands. He's in fight stance. But you can see he's drained. This is the worst possible timing. Brock reaches the ring. He climbs onto the apron. Steps over the ropes. Punk backs up but doesn't run. To his credit, Punk's not running. He's going to fight even though he's exhausted. Let me know in the comments, would you have tried to escape or stood your ground like Punk did? Brock and Punk are face to face. The size difference is staggering. Brock is just massive. Punk's looking up at him. The crowd is at fever pitch. Punk takes a swing. Punk throws a punch. He's not waiting to be attacked, he's fighting back. The punch connects. But Brock barely budges. Punk throws another. And another. He's trying everything. Brock just smiles. That sadistic Brock Lesnar smile. And then he grabs Punk. Belly to belly suplex. Punk crashes hard. Brock picks him up immediately. Another belly to belly. Punk's already beaten down from the match. This is murder. German suplex. Punk lands on his neck. German suplex. Another one. German suplex. 5 German suplexes in a row. Punk is destroyed. The crowd is in shock. This is an assault. Brock picks up the World Heavyweight Championship. He looks at it. He holds it. Is he claiming it? Is he saying this is what he wants? The camera zooms in on Brock's face as he stares at the title. He drops the title on Punk's chest. The symbolism. This is what I want, and I'm taking it from you. But Brock's not done. He picks Punk up. F5 position. The crowd knows what's coming. F5. Devastating F5. Punk is unconscious. Brock stands over him like the conqueror he is. And then, just to add insult to injury, Brock picks Punk up again. Another F5. This one even more vicious than the first. Punk is broken. Medical personnel start rushing down. Brock's music hits again. He stands in the ring, looking at the carnage he's created. Punk is motionless. The World Heavyweight Championship is lying next to his broken body. Brock points at the title one more time. Message sent. Brock exits the ring. He walks back up the ramp. Never looking back. Zero remorse. That's the Beast Incarnate. That's the conqueror. He came, he destroyed, he left. The show ends with medical personnel checking on CM Punk. The commentary team is in shock. Brock Lesnar just attacked CM Punk. What does this mean? Saturday night's main event ends on this image: the champion, broken and battered, the victim of a vicious assault. Comment below, what was your immediate reaction when Brock's music first hit? Now let's break down why this is genius from every possible angle, because I've got receipts for everyone complaining about this. This is textbook wrestling booking. The vulnerable champion after a hard-fought victory. The monster emerging when the hero is at his weakest. This is a story as old as wrestling itself, and it works because it's universal. Punk just proved himself against Jey Uso. He retained his title. He showed respect to his opponent. He was at his most likable. And then he gets destroyed by Brock. This creates instant sympathy. Even people who might not be Punk fans are going, man, that's not fair. He just went through a war. The timing is perfect for WrestleMania build. We're in late January/early February depending on when you're watching this. WrestleMania 41 is in April. That gives us 2.5 months to build Punk versus Brock. That's the ideal amount of time. Not too long that it gets stale, not too short that it feels rushed. This is perfect for Brock's character. He's the opportunistic predator. He doesn't care about honor or fairness. He sees weakness and attacks. That's what makes him terrifying. That's what makes him the perfect heel opponent for Punk. For Punk's character, this is fuel. Punk's entire persona is about being the underdog who overcomes. Being the guy who gets knocked down but gets back up. Brock just gave Punk the ultimate motivation. Now it's not just about defending a title, it's about revenge. It's personal. Quick question: does this attack make Brock a coward or a smart predator? Discuss. Saturday night's main event was on NBC network television. Millions of people watching. And WWE ends the show with Brock Lesnar returning and destroying CM Punk. That's how you create buzz. That's how you get mainstream attention. Social media exploded. Twitter/X was trending. YouTube clips are getting millions of views. Wrestling websites have it as their top story. This is free publicity. This is marketing gold. WrestleMania 41 tickets just became more valuable. Anyone on the fence about buying tickets just got pushed over the edge. I need to see Punk vs. Brock at WrestleMania. That's money in WWE's pocket. Peacock/WWE Network subscriptions will go up. People who aren't current subscribers will sign up because they don't want to miss what happens next. What does Punk do? How does he respond? When does Brock strike again? Ratings, subscriptions, revenue. Punk vs. Brock is a proven commodity. They've had incredible matches before. Their 2013 feud was legendary. We know these two have chemistry. We know they can deliver a WrestleMania caliber match. But this time it's different. Last time, Punk was the defending champion for over a year. Now he's the returning veteran in the twilight of his career. Brock's older too. The stakes are different. The story is different. This isn't a rehash, it's a new chapter. The styles contrast perfectly. Punk's technical, scrappy fighting style versus Brock's raw power and athleticism. David versus Goliath. The underdog versus the monster. These are timeless dynamics. Drop your thoughts. Can Punk vs. Brock at WrestleMania 41 live up to their 2013 classic? Now let's address the complaints I'm seeing, because I want to systematically destroy every bad take. Brock's a part-timer. He's taking a spot from full-time talent. Wrong. Brock Lesnar is a special attraction. His appearances mean more because he's not there every week. And he's not taking anyone's spot, he's creating a spot. Punk vs. Brock at WrestleMania doesn't prevent other matches from happening. It adds to the card. Plus, Brock works dates when he's actively in a program. It's not like he appears once and disappears. When Brock's in a feud, he's present. He does the work. Stop acting like he's never around. How does getting attacked by Brock Lesnar ruin momentum? If anything, it enhances it. Now Punk has sympathy. Now Punk has motivation. Now Punk's title reign has a major threat attached to it. Getting destroyed by Brock doesn't make Punk look weak, it makes Brock look unstoppable. When Punk eventually overcomes Brock, it'll be that much more meaningful. We've seen Punk vs. Brock before. We've seen every matchup before at some point. Wrestling is about reinventing familiar matchups with new context. Roman vs. Cody happened multiple times. Austin vs. Rock was repeated. Hogan vs. Savage happened multiple times. Great matches are worth revisiting. And again, this is a different Punk and a different Brock with a different story. Context matters. Saturday night's main event should have ended on a happy note. Says who? Wrestling is about creating emotion. Shocking endings create buzz. Everyone's talking about this. If it had just ended with Punk celebrating, people would have forgotten by Monday. Now it's the only thing people are discussing. Let me know in the comments which complaint about this angle annoys you the most. Let's talk about the history between Punk and Brock, because their past adds layers to this attack. Their 2013 feud was legendary. The matches were incredible. SummerSlam 2013. Night of Champions, Battleground, Hell in a Cell. They went to war multiple times. Those matches are still talked about today. Paul Heyman was central to that feud. Heyman betrayed Punk to align with Brock. That was a massive story. And notice Heyman was not with Brock for this attack. That's interesting. Is Heyman even involved this time? Or is this just Brock operating alone? Punk has history with Brock that creates built-in drama. They don't need weeks of promos to explain why they're fighting. The audience knows. The history is rich. You just add the new layer of Brock wanting Punk's championship and you've got instant story. Question for discussion: should Paul Heyman be involved in this feud, or is it better with just Punk and Brock? Now let's fantasy book the road to WrestleMania, because this is where it gets fun. Punk comes out with visible injuries, bandages, maybe a neck brace for drama. He cuts an intense promo about Brock's cowardly attack. But Punk's not backing down. He wants Brock. He's calling him out. Brock appears on the Titantron. He's somewhere remote, maybe his farm. He's got that psychotic smile. Punk, you have something I want. And I always get what I want. See you soon. Hangs up. The threat is established. Punk has a title defense scheduled. Maybe against a mid-card heel. Punk's still injured but fighting through it. The match is competitive. Suddenly Brock's music hits. Punk's distracted. He gets rolled up. He loses by distraction. Wait, no, Punk kicks out. He's not losing his title to a distraction. But after the match, Brock comes down and attacks again. Another F5. Punk's injuries are getting worse. Brock's targeting him. WWE makes it official. Brock Lesnar vs. CM Punk for the World Heavyweight Championship at WrestleMania 41. The contract signing is explosive. Brock and Punk brawl. Security can barely separate them. Tables get destroyed. Chaos. Psychological warfare. Brock attacking Punk at random times. Punk fighting back when he can. Heyman may or may not be involved depending on the direction. Guest referees for Punk's other defenses to keep him protected. Tension building every week. The match. 25 to 30 minutes. Back and forth. Punk uses his technical skill and intelligence to counter Brock's power. Multiple near falls. F5 kicked out of. GTS kicked out of. The crowd is losing their minds. The finish? Punk hits a second GTS. Or maybe he makes Brock tap to the Anaconda Vice. Either way, Punk overcomes. He retains. Triumphant moment at WrestleMania. The underdog conquered the Beast. That's how you book this. That's a WrestleMania story. Give me your fantasy booking. How would you build a Punk vs. Brock at WrestleMania? Let's discuss the promo battles we're going to get, because this is going to be gold. CM Punk is one of the greatest talkers in wrestling history. His promos are legendary. His ability to cut to the heart of an issue is unmatched. He's going to have so much ammunition against Brock. You couldn't beat me when you tried before, so now you attack me when I'm vulnerable? You're a coward hiding behind muscles. You walk around like you're this unstoppable force, but I know you're beatable. I've done it before. This championship represents everything you're not: consistency, showing up, proving yourself. You want this title? Earn it. The promos write themselves. And Brock, even though he's a man of few words when he does speak, it's impactful. That intensity. That barely controlled violence. Just having him stare at Punk while Heyman, if he's involved, talks creates tension. Comment your favorite CM Punk promo of all time. Let's talk about crowd reactions because this is going to be electric. CM Punk is over. The CM Punk chants are deafening wherever he goes. His return to WWE has been everything fans wanted. He's the ultimate babyface right now. Brock Lesnar gets reactions. Sometimes cheers for his dominance, sometimes boos for his actions. He's the perfect tweener who can be positioned however WWE needs. But in this story, with Brock attacking Punk in this cowardly way, fans will definitely boo Brock. He's the villain. Punk's the hero. The crowd dynamics are perfect. Imagine the dueling chants. CM Punk / Let's Go Lesnar. The energy in arenas is going to be insane. Every confrontation between these two will feel like a main event. Question: who will the crowd favor more, Punk or Brock? Now let's address what this means for the rest of the roster. With Punk focused on Brock, the midcard title scene opens up. Intercontinental and United States championships get more spotlight. Other wrestlers get opportunities. SmackDown's title scene remains separate. Whoever's champion there gets their own WrestleMania story. The roster doesn't suffer, it benefits from having clear storylines. Tag team division can flourish. Women's division gets focus. Not everything has to revolve around Punk vs. Brock. Good booking means multiple compelling stories running simultaneously. And other wrestlers can get involved. Maybe someone tries to capitalize on Punk's weakened state. Maybe someone wants to prove themselves against Brock. The story creates opportunities for everyone. Let me know which other wrestlers should get involved in this storyline. Let's discuss the physicality we're going to see in this program. Punk and Brock are both physical workers. They're not afraid to make it look real. Their matches are stiff. They beat the hell out of each other. Brock's suplexes are devastating. Punk's strikes are vicious. When these two are in the ring, it feels like a fight, not just a choreographed match. The build will feature brawls, parking lot fights, backstage ambushes, both men attacking each other at every opportunity. This is war, not a sporting competition. By the time WrestleMania comes, the hatred will be palpable. The crowd will be invested. The payoff will be worth it. Drop your prediction. How violent does this feud get on a scale of 1 to 10? Let's talk about the championship implications. Punk's title reign gets elevated by having Brock as his challenger. Fighting off the Beast Incarnate means something. It adds to Punk's legacy. If Punk loses the title to Brock, that's not a burial, that's putting over the most dominant force in wrestling, and it sets up Punk's chase to get it back. If Punk retains, he becomes the man who conquered the conqueror. His reign goes down in history as having overcome the ultimate challenge. Either outcome works. Either outcome creates compelling follow-up stories. That's good booking. Question: should Punk retain at WrestleMania, or should Brock win the title? Now let's discuss the media coverage this is generating. Mainstream sports outlets are covering this. ESPN, Fox Sports, Bleacher Report. Brock Lesnar returns, attacks CM Punk. That's mainstream news. Wrestling media is in a frenzy. Every website, every podcast, every YouTube channel is talking about this. The buzz is real. Social media engagement is through the roof. Hashtags trending, clips going viral. This is exactly what WWE wants: conversation, engagement, attention. This attack is doing what it's supposed to do: get people talking, get people invested, get people to tune in to see what happens next. Comment: did you see any mainstream coverage of this attack outside wrestling media? Let's address the legacy implications for both men. For CM Punk, this could be a defining moment in his return run. If he overcomes Brock at WrestleMania, it's a legendary achievement. It cements his comeback as meaningful. For Brock Lesnar, adding another WrestleMania classic to his resume only enhances his legacy. Win or lose, Brock's reputation as a main event attraction is secure. Both men are future Hall of Famers. Both men have incredible careers. This feud adds to both legacies rather than diminishing either. Years from now, people will look back at WrestleMania 41 and remember Punk vs. Brock 2 as one of the marquee matches. That's legacy building. Drop your thoughts: where does this feud rank in both men's careers when it's all said and done? Let's talk about potential surprises that could happen during this storyline. Does Heyman side with Brock like in 2013? Does he side with Punk for a twist? Does he play both sides? Heyman's involvement adds intrigue. Does someone else get involved to help or hurt either man? A surprise return? A current roster member with a grudge? Twists keep things interesting. Does this become no holds barred? Hell in a cell? Some kind of brutal stipulation that raises the stakes even higher? Does Punk lose the title before WrestleMania, making it a different kind of match? Does Brock win a different title? Curveballs keep fans guessing. Let me know, what surprise would you like to see in this storyline? In conclusion, Brock Lesnar attacking CM Punk after his title defense against Jey Uso on Saturday night's main event is not bad booking, it's brilliant booking. This creates an instant main event for WrestleMania 41. It gives both men a meaningful program. It generates buzz and attention. It creates sympathy for Punk and heat for Brock. It sets up a guaranteed great match. It's good for business. Everyone complaining about this either doesn't understand wrestling storytelling or is just looking for something to complain about. This is exactly the kind of moment that makes wrestling exciting. The road to WrestleMania just got a major main event. CM Punk vs. Brock Lesnar. The best in the world versus the Beast Incarnate. The underdog champion versus the conquering monster. This is the stuff wrestling dreams are made of. Saturday night's main event delivered an instant classic with Punk vs. Jey Uso, and then launched a WrestleMania program with one of the most shocking attacks in recent memory. That's how you end a show. That's how you create moments. That's how you book wrestling. So to everyone complaining, stop. Sit back, enjoy the story, and get ready for what's going to be an incredible build to one of WrestleMania's biggest matches. Brock Lesnar vs. CM Punk is happening, and it's going to be phenomenal. Drop every single thought, reaction, and prediction in the comments. Are you excited for Punk vs. Brock? How do you want it to play out? Who should win at WrestleMania? Let's have the biggest discussion this channel has ever seen. Smash that like button if you're hyped for this feud. Subscribe to Wrestling Newsletter for daily coverage of this developing story. Hit that notification bell because you don't want to miss any updates on the road to WrestleMania. This is going to be legendary, and we're covering every single moment. Thank you for watching, and remember, Saturday night's main event just changed the WWE landscape forever. Let's go.